Kenobi's corner, Kenobi's corner, Kenobi's corner.
I really think it's a kid song because that's all you really sing, dude. Like, you only sing kid songs.
Mm-hmm. The world is such a treat when you're on Easy Street.
Seriously, though, kid song?
And we're breaking out the good champagne.
Okay, that's not a kid
We're
song.
sitting pretty on the gravy train.
Oh, I know this song.
Where do you know this song from?
That stupid show I hardly watch anymore.
I know you're not talking about The Walking Dead.
I'm talking about The Walking Dead.
Oh,
How about them apples?
so angry off of like 1 or 2 little deaths. Welcome to Kenobi's Corner. I'm Eric, and this is Jonathan.
Hola.
The host with the most.
The most what?
The most to gain on Easy Street, I think. Because it is so sweet.
Oh my god.
And life is but a treat.
Stop with that damn song already.
We're here to talk to you about movies, TV shows, video games, and everything based on comic book and sci-fi stuff in between that we find interesting.
And the fantastical. Don't forget the fantastical.
Oh, of course, the fantastical. How can you forget that? Welcome and welcome back to you newbies and oldies. I'm excited, man.
Newbies and oldies.
We got so much stuff. And some of the stuff that I was reading over, I was like, oh, man. I'm really glad some news dropped about some of this stuff. So I'm excited to talk to you about it because we didn't get it. Dude, you know, we've been so busy this week, man. I don't feel like we had enough time to like just really talk to each other about any of this, so I'm excited we get to do it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. We'll first time discussions on air, live,
live.
in the studio,
in vivo. Yeah, man. So let's jump in. Let's just do it.
Yeah, just a lot of news. We won't talk about Arrival this week, even though it's coming out this week.
Yeah.
Give everybody a week to watch it. We talked about Doctor Strange last week, but just because we were super excited, we couldn't hold back. We went opening night.
Dude, you went to go see it in 3D. How was it?
I went to go see it in 3D. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, just to get off the subject, Arrival next week. We're planning to go watch it this weekend once this airs, and then we'll watch it this weekend, and we'll talk about it next week for sure. But Doctor Strange in 3D. There's no other way to watch that movie. Like, if there's anybody out there that still hasn't watched Doctor Strange, please go watch it in 3D if you plan to go watch that movie. It is amazing. I went to IMAX 3D. It kind of all happened like super in succession, one thing right after another. I was like, I'm going to go watch it. I told everybody as soon as we left the theater from the TV show, and I was like, I need to go watch this in 3D.
Yeah.
Gotta happen. I'm probably going to watch it in IMAX 3. Gotta happen.
Yeah. On
Saturday, I want to go meet up with some friends, people over at White Elephant, and Eric knows I love talking about White Elephant. I probably talk his ear off about White Elephant and how amazing it is. But the White Elephant coffee, went to go have a coffee at White Elephant, my favorite place. And then
where'd you go? White Elephant?
White Elephant.
That where you went? Okay.
White Elephant coffee, so good. No, but I was there with my friend Sean, and we were talking about it, about Doctor Strange, with a couple of people there, and they were like, they're going to go watch it on Sunday, and I was like, man, that's cool, and I kind of invited myself to their party.
You're that guy, right on.
I talk with those guys all the time, and they're super cool people. Cool. I'm in there so often that they know me by name. So,
nice.
They were like, pretty much invited me to come along. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can, but I'll go with you guys, especially if you guys go watch it in 3D, because I really got to watch this movie in 3D. Later on that evening, he sent me a text message after we had exchanged phone numbers that afternoon, and saying that they had got tickets for IMAX 3D, and I was like, I went right online to buy tickets.
Nice.
So, dude, IMAX 3D, it's got to be one of the most amazing things. Like, the only movie that I can really tell you that as long as you can, because I know there's people who can't see 3D, the 3D movies or incapable of it, just physically, and I feel bad for them because they're going to miss out on this awesome experience. Because it's the only movie that I can think of that really added a whole nother level to some of those scenes, like in 3D compared to in 2D.
Yeah.
I mean, completely changes the scene. spoilers. Watch the movie. It's not going to be major spoilers. I'm not going to try not to give away any plot points, but they do like interdimensional travel.
Yeah.
One of the scenes are doing interdimensional travel. Actually, a few of those scenes where you get a sense of like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a different location in 2D, but in 3D, like it has such great depth. It's like, dude, like it's a whole nother world that he's in, and you see it like it makes
in
it
the
feel,
multiverse.
Yeah, it makes it feel like, dude, like it's massive in scale and what's going on. And then there's a few of them, dude, that I didn't realize how complex the scene is until you look at it in 3D and you can see like the different layers behind everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, I mean, again, minor spoilers. When they're fighting Caecilius in one of the scenes, they step out into the streets of New York. And in 2D, it looks like, okay, they're stepping out into the streets of New York, and it looks like everything's just kind of twisted and looks different. Dude, in 3D...
different levels?
Dude, you can see different layers. Like, you see, like, depth to the scene, and it's like, holy crap. Like, it's, like, hard to process everything.
Yeah.
By the time you process it, like, they're on to the next thing. So it's kind of nuts, dude. So I really want to go watch it again in 3D. I didn't think I was going to go watch this movie this many times, but I like the movie a lot.
Yeah.
I really like the way the plot advances. I like the characters. I like the actors. And then in 3D, just visually, it's really awesome. And I don't own a 3D TV, so I can either go buy one and buy this movie in Blu-ray 3D, or I can go out to the movies again and watch it in 3D before it gets out of there.
Which is funny because I feel like we've purchased many 3D movies just for the extra special features and stuff.
Right? Yeah.
Which you just need to buy one now. Apparently, curved TVs is the way to go. But yeah, man. Well, cool. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Let's talk about something you hated. Walking Dead. I started off singing a little bit of the song that was in this past episode, but and you watched it, man. I just can't believe you've fallen off so much, man. Like I thought you really enjoyed it.
You know what? I really think it's a matter of not being as excited as I was previously. Last season, I watched every single episode. I tried to watch every single episode the day that the episode aired, right? So I knew Sunday nights, I'm not going to go do anything. I'm going to be at home watching The Walking Dead. I'm planning on that. Let's do it. This season, this week's episode, I didn't watch until Tuesday night. Last week's episode, I didn't watch until Friday night. So like a whole 5 days after it aired, I just I couldn't get into it, man. Like, I don't know if it's just bad feelings from what happened over the off season.
Yeah.
Or that it's kind of fallen off a little bit because it doesn't feel to me as exciting and as gripping as the season passed. But maybe it's because like all the twists and turns, like I'm already expecting like, well, you know, it doesn't matter because they're going to resolve it later on anyway and then do whatever the hell they want at that point. So what's the reason? Like, I don't have a reason to care for these guys anymore. And even more so, I think you had you're partly at fault.
Why? What happened?
Because you pointed out something to me that I guess I hadn't fully realized. I knew it was going on. Subconsciously, I think I knew it was there. And then the minute you said it, like, that's all I can see now.
What?
The fact that every season has been themed around, in multiple seasons, across multiple seasons even, has been one giant theme where the group gets together. Something happens and they get broken apart.
Yeah.
They have all their little mini side stories for a few episodes. Yeah. And then they all come back together to fight like a big bad.
Yeah.
You know, and then they all get broken apart again.
Yeah.
And dude, that's all I can see this season is like, dude, all these stupid little mini stories. And it's, dude, I don't know. Between the whole Negan killing somebody at the end of last season and to what's going on now, I don't know, man. I'm not as excited about it. New Rockstars, dude. I think we've talked about them here on the podcast before. Awesome YouTube channel. I still like watching those guys for all their stuff. They've been putting out all the video reviews for the Walking Dead episodes, and I haven't watched one.
Yeah.
We're in last season, I was like gobbling those up like as soon as they came out.
I think it was a culmination of things for you, man. I think one, Fimo Law left New Rockstars. I know he was your favorite on New Rockstars.
Philip Molina, man, it's close to my heart.
I know. You tweeted at him, man. He tweeted you back.
I know, dude. I love that guy.
rubbing elbows or tweets.
Tweet elbows?
12 O's?
12 O's.
Yes,
I like
there
it.
You go. I don't know, man. Like, and I think it's only going to get more like that on a grander scale because they've introduced a new group of people,
right?
And it's the new group now coming in and them intermingling and then them getting separated and doing their side stories.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're really like, you can't, I think, and we've talked about it before, you can't do a full ensemble cast and have them all for every episode. You know, it's just,
right.
It's just going to get the story's going to get so like minimal and just so I don't know what the term is. Like it's gonna it's just not gonna make sense. Like there's just gonna be so many opinions on this one specific issue instead of like progressing the story. So it has to be chopped up and it has to be that way just to get the story like to continue.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's just growing so much, and that's why season 1 was so amazing. Is because they had like it's just a small niche group, and now it's just growing. And the whole thing is now it's a larger world. I think that's what the last term or the last season was like a whole new world, a whole new world. I think
the whole world of it,
not Aladdin style, but because we were just singing that
definitely
too.
on a magic carpet ride.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's for sure. Yeah, something about a whole and exciting new point of view.
That was definitely what they mentioned, right?
Yeah, I think that's almost verbatim. But and that's the whole thing is like it's just getting super expanded, and it's bringing in new groups of people, new areas, new like whole communities that are out there. That it's not just them that they're finding out, you know, and so. I think that's why I'm getting more excited about it is because it's grown from such a small unit of people to now it's a community. It's a massive
world. Like they've really done a good job expanding into a world of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that part of it isn't bad, man. I'm telling you, it's not like I'm watching the episodes and thinking like, oh, this is terrible. Like I don't want to watch this anymore. I haven't been as excited about it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I like it, dude. I mean, the last couple of episodes have been pretty good. It's nice to see the explanation of stuff. I am getting a little frustrated on what some of those people are doing. The last episode was with Daryl, and to not give away any spoilers, I think he's still got like aspects of his character that are still worthwhile watching to me. Like it keeps me interested still because he's still he's grown a lot on screen and he's still continuing to grow on screen. And even if you're not seeing a full on growth, you're still seeing some aspects to his character that aren't kind of standard or mundane. It's like it's pretty different. It's a different side of it, and the way he does it and thinks about it is pretty cool. And you can see it even if it's not through a whole lot of dialogue that he's doing. But some of the other characters, it's like, well, this is just what they do. Like, and that's it. Now we're just seeing, who they are and who they've been play out again and again.
Right.
And I mean, and it's probably just because it's being set up as, the main part of the story, right? Like you gotta show where they're at to show where they're gonna be later on. But I don't necessarily feel like I have to see that anymore because I mean, with Carol and Morgan being over at the
sanctuary
at
the kingdom. I'm sorry.
Kingdom, yes, being over at the kingdom. Like both of them, I mean, it's cool, but it's just them being them. It's nothing new, nothing different. It was cool to see the kingdom and see how that works and get to know the new characters that are over there.
Yeah.
But I mean, for those two, I mean, the focus was still on them, and to me, it was just like, okay, I don't really care. I was a lot more interested when the other new characters were on screen and talking and doing stuff. So, like that was really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I haven't seen anything that like makes me want to be like, oh, dude, Sunday nights, I'm all about this again.
Yeah, I think this next coming episode is going to be. I think they might do the backstory of Negan.
Oh, okay.
To show like where he's coming from and like kind of like building up his character, because it's supposed to be an hour and a half. I think. This next coming episode. So and then his introduction into Alexandria. So.
All right.
I think I'm liking this because Daryl's character is now in deep with them, and this is something different from the comic. And so I think I definitely read ahead when I found out like this is where they were going, and I was like, "Oh, this is so awesome!" And I was like, I think I spoiled it for myself because I was like, now I know how it's going to play out. But because of Daryl's in there, and because of the way it's going, and how things have been switched up a little bit, I think that's why I'm more excited because this is where I've been at for so long, and just kind of seeing like where it's going to go. I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it's more exciting for me.
But I mean, it's cool. I mean, either way, we're still watching it. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens, man. All right, moving on. What else?
Something you really like?
Something, yes,
dude. So Pac Rim 2 gets a full title.
Maelstrom.
Yeah,
dude. That just reminds me of that old school game though, like on the Mac.
Maelstrom.
Like, yeah.
I didn't play that one.
It was like an old school game. It was like terrible graphics. 1998, 97 is when I was playing that game.
Nice.
I was in high school.
Sure.
And it was like a little ship. And on the PC, it was an equivalent. I just don't remember the name.
Was it like Asteroids?
Yes, like a little ship. You rotate around, it fires. You could take the little ship around.
Oh, yeah,
There's little asteroids.
Yeah.
This one was called Maelstrom, though, because in the middle of the screen, or actually in different places it would show up, but you'd get like a little maelstrom, like a little like black hole kind of thing going on where it would suck everything in and you couldn't get close with the ship or else you died. But that's what it reminds me of every time I think of it, just because I played that game so much. But now I can think about something else, apparently.
Nice. Well, it'll also give you good feelings because I know you really, really enjoyed Pacific Rim 1. I don't know. John Boyega, we talked about he's going to be in it. And he's supposed to be the surviving son of Idris Elba. I can't remember who was... Do you know who was directing it?
Yes.
Stephen DeKnight?
Yes. Exactly.
Do you know what else he did?
I don't know. Looks like TV shows. He did Spartacus. Mm-hmm. And something called The Girl in Question.
So maybe this is like a kind of like a Hail Mary play for them. see what this guy can do.
I don't know. Did you watch Spartacus?
I didn't. Every time I hear that name, I just think of your dog.
Yeah. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
It's the best dog ever. So.
Yeah. One of them. I'll throw that out there.
Whoa.
Well, just because I have Bevo. Bane is a jerk.
Whoa. He doesn't count.
He doesn't count.
He's a redheaded stepchild. Yeah, man, I don't know. He hasn't done a whole lot.
Okay. Well, we'll see what he does with it. But yeah, exciting stuff nonetheless.
Yeah, dude. I think I'm most excited just because it's John Boyega, man. Like, I don't know. I would think that he, already from the looks of it, just because John Boyega is John Boyega, that guy loves social media. And this is one of the things that I find really cool is when actors understand that they're going to be in the public eye and are super thankful that they're going to even get a chance to do this kind of stuff. It reminds me a lot of Millie Bobby Brown and actually all those kids from Stranger Things seem really about that they embrace the fandom just because how many people get that opportunity to do that kind of job, like to go out there and act for a living and do that kind of stuff. And they seem super thankful. And because of that, they're super connected to their fan base and do a lot of things like tweeting and Facebooking and everything. And a lot of times throwing out like pictures of things that, I'm sure they get permission to do it, or at least someone didn't tell them that they couldn't exclusively do that. But dude, yeah, John Boyega, is already tweeting pictures from
that's awesome.
From the
from the set.
the cover of the script, which is freaking cool. And then Stephen DeKnight is also like putting pictures on there, like on social media too, man.
Sweet.
Which is really cool. I'm excited. I don't know. I really like the first movie, man. I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people hate on it too, and I don't know. I know it has its flaws. It definitely has its flaws. I love pointing out some of the flaws that we've even talked about on the podcast before. But it's still such a fun movie to watch, man. Like, I love watching that movie still to this day. I'll put it on every once in a while. So I hope if this can be close to that, hopefully it'll be even better. That'll be awesome.
Very cool. I'm excited about it. Another movie that kind of got some news this week was Rampage. Dude, the game from the 90s or 80s, man. I don't remember. I remember playing it as a kid.
Forever and a half years ago. That's where it's from.
And you can be a lizard. You could have been a gorilla or an ape. And then there was something else you could be. I forgot the other thing. But it was like another large creature. And it was just them. Like you're
the
just...
lizard?
Lizard, an ape, and then something else.
The wolf.
Oh, the wolf. That's right.
Yeah.
A huge, like, werewolf or something.
Yeah.
And, like, you can go through and just... It's just like... You're just trying to destroy a city or whatever, and you can eat people for energy and stuff. And you can, you can get electrocuted, and you had health, or like the army would come and try to attack you and stuff. So it's pretty much up to Bradley Cooper and The Rock to stop this from happening. Or maybe Bradley Cooper plays the character that turns into the wolf, or one of these larger creatures. Because if once you die in the game, like you just shrink down to a human that got turned into one of these creatures, and you can get eaten by the other character. So I don't know. It was crazy, but I guess like Pacific Rim, large creatures. It's just one of those movies. I don't know. Well,
but I mean, I wonder how good it can really be, man. Like how much story can you pull out of that thing?
Right.
And even if you don't have a ton of story, I don't know. I just don't know what they can do. I mean, it's going to be a movie of just them rampaging and breaking stuff the entire time.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then why are you hiring Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
I mean...
Okay, and the director of it is the director of San Andreas, so it's another one of these, like, okay, he knows how to do destruction in movies.
Right.
Because that's all you really want to see,
That's all San Andreas is good for.
Yeah. It's just, what is it? Disaster porn.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. I guess I
wouldn't
wouldn't go see it like when it came out, but I would definitely check it out when it came out on Blu-ray 2 weeks later.
At the very least, right? Yeah. I mean, that's one of those I'm going to be super skeptical on. If it gets bad reviews to start off with, and people start talking about it, like bad about it, critics and stuff, and it's that bad, or it seems like it's going to be that bad, I probably won't go watch it, man. Like, or I'll wait. I'll probably be more cautious about it. If it starts getting great reviews, I might check it out. Why not? I enjoyed San Andreas. It wasn't the greatest movie ever.
But it was definitely...
No, it's actually pretty bad. But it was enjoyable, like at least for action. Like you said,
it made Mr. Fantastic Mr. Fantastic a villain.
Yeah, dude, that's how he should be.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, mostly he's a jerk.
Yeah, he's a pretty big jerk.
Yeah.
Absentee father, talks down to everybody.
Man,
it's pretty
he
messed
sounds like
up.
Scott Summers, man.
Dude, don't you dare. You know what's the soft spot right now, Eric?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, other stuff. Stranger Things. They added 2 new cast members. Awesome. Sean Astin of Rudy fame, and of course Samwise Gamgee, and Paul Reiser of Mad About You fame, and Aliens. Dude. So they're going to be added to the cast. I think Paul Reiser's character is supposed to kind of be in that same vein of he's a guy of the company. Oh wait, maybe I should say spoilers if you don't want to know anything about Stranger Things season 2. I think Paul Reiser's character is supposed to be like the same character that the guy that was playing Eleven's dad, or pseudo father, I guess. In that, he's supposed to be part of that company. Whatever.
It's not really a company. It's the Department of Defense.
Oh, never mind.
Or Department of Energy. Sorry.
Okay, the same business.
Yeah,
as that other guy.
In the Department of Energy.
Yeah, in the Department of Energy. Yeah.
He works for the government, man.
Yeah. Government employee. And Sean Astin's character, what was he supposed to be? He's just like another dude?
I don't know if they really said for him.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's they did full on releases, so I don't know. I don't know if it's really that bad we're talking about it, but he's a manager of the Radio Shack now in Hawkins, Indiana.
So maybe he helps them get tools to get 11 back out of the the other side.
Well, they got to fix that radio they busted.
Oh yeah,
was it a ham radio, right?
Yeah,
it was a ham radio that they used to communicate.
Yeah, so maybe maybe they're trying to figure out, and they get his assistants, and with his background in long journeys and adventures, you know, he's going to be able to really help them out.
I mean, yeah, in Goonies he learned adventures, and
yeah,
Lord of the Rings he learned about long journeys. So,
that's true. And then you know, if he couldn't, you know, take the weight on himself of carrying that ring, he would pick them up and help them.
So now he knows about carrying people as well.
Yeah.
He seems to fit so well into it. Like, I can just picture him easily as a resident of Hawkins, Indiana. Like,
you know what's crazy is that I think this is super well casted, and it's just continuing that streak because I feel like it helps us like really be in that time and be in that world still. And kind of continuing that, but also I hope it continues the story of like them having just good story behind it as well, not just like, hey, this is the 80s, here's 80s things, you know, remember this, but you know,
that's why they cast Sean Astin.
Yeah,
dang it, I can't say his name.
Pretty close.
That wasn't even close. Don't even humor me, Eric. I know that was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And then the only other person that I see on here, Linnea Berthelsen.
Nope.
No?
Nope, I don't know.
You don't even know, dude.
I don't know. That's why I said I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but yeah, I know also was cast on there, so they're definitely expanding the cast, man. Like it'll be interesting to see you know, where it goes from here, getting so many new people on there. And I mean that's awesome. I really like that they're doing that. I mean, it's since they're bringing on people and a couple of them are, you know, a little bit more bigger names, it gives me hope that it's going to be on for a little while. You know, it's not just, here's season 2 and that's going to be the end of it.
Right.
That hopefully it'll go into like a season 2, season 3, season 4, and we'll get a little bit more out of it. And who knows, man? You never know when it's going to happen. And sometimes it's better for these things to not go into that far. Like maybe the Duffer Brothers have bigger and better ideas or different worlds that we haven't seen, that they can expand on, and they won't be just stuck in doing this one thing for forever, like things tend to happen. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, but I'm excited. It's cool that they're bringing on so many people.
Yeah, I just can't wait. Like it's super around the corner too. I think it's in next year that they should be bringing it back.
It's early next year, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the date was.
I don't either, but it was
fairly early.
Yeah. So
that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
When you stop thinking about it, so it'll come faster.
I know.
That's what always happens. We're going to be thinking about it. Yeah, exactly. Out of sight, out of mind, and it'll be here before you know it.
That's right.
Oh, dude, I mean, come on.
I know you're wearing a shirt. Describe
the shirt, Eric. Because everybody on the podcast can't see the shirt.
It is, let me paint you a word picture. It's a red shirt in the fashion of Christmas, like a Christmas sweater, but it has the wall of the alphabet, and it has the kids running. It's super cool. It's like one of those ugly Christmas sweaters, but in t-shirt fashion with Stranger Things. So it's pretty nice.
Terrible description, man.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not very descriptive.
I mean, it's got like the buyer's like wall with the alphabet and the Christmas lights. That's what I said.
The alphabet wall with.
But
Christmas
you didn't say about
lights.
the Christmas lights.
Oh well.
And then it's got the R, the U, and the N lit up, as if those bulbs were on. And then at the bottom of the shirt, you know how Christmas sweaters are. They kind of mirror image things. You know, one right side up, one upside down.
Like one kid running the other way. Oh yeah, it does.
So then you have 4 kids on the top running one right side up, and then 2 people on the bottom running upside down.
So the Demogorgon and 11 or Will. Yeah. Right on.
I mean, if it was a dead person, I'd say Barb, but
nice. Too soon, John.
I'm sorry.
Nice. Speaking of dead things, and I know how you love my segues.
Oh my God.
The X-Men series with Fox.
Dead or dying? Both.
Yes, it could be both. It looks like there's a soft reboot in the works.
There's rumors of a soft reboot.
Yeah. Well, just because a lot of the characters, their contracts are up, like Will McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and I know that from the reports here from Slash Film, They were saying that they're working on a new script, and hopefully that they can bring some of these characters back. But if not, your boy Bryan Singer is not going to be attached. So it's,
hallelujah.
Yeah. So it's going to be something totally different, and maybe they'll concentrate on some of the other characters. Bring Jubilee back, so she'll finally have a speaking role and actually have some context behind her.
Yeah,
Because she's
especially
been in,
after all the promos.
I know.
Come on, now.
So she was in that promo. Remember that 80s style film about coming to Xavier's
that
school?
Was awesome, dude.
That was really, really cool, and they did not use her at all. They definitely jokered us on that one.
Dude, that was probably the best thing about that movie is that promo video.
Yeah.
That didn't even, wasn't on or in or part of the movie at all.
Oh, I'm definitely going to add that promo video in there. I think I did it on a previous podcast, but I could put it back.
We'll put it in there again.
Yeah.
It's worth putting in there again.
It's so nice. We used it twice.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if I really should be excited that Bryan Singer is not going to be part of this project, but...
What do you mean?
I am
really
excited.
Didn't like any of the other ones.
I shouldn't. That's mean. That's messed up. It's not a good way to be a human being, Eric, to live my life as a person.
It's not that you have
so
hate in your heart or anything. You just, he had his chance, and although it was okay, really First Class, I think, was his best go at it.
Dude, he did not have anything to do with First Class.
Well, okay, then even more to the fact that he should not be attached to anything else.
Exactly.
So,
and that's why I feel so happy that he's not there anymore. He's not going to be there for this one because, dude, First Class was really good, man. Days of Future Past, I also enjoyed. It wasn't the best, but I liked it. It went good places. But that one was even written for the guy or by the guy who did First Class. Same writing team and everything who did First Class, not the guys that Bryan Singer usually brings in. And dude, it was for the better. That definitely helped elevate that movie, even though that whole team wasn't a part of the actual filming and making of the movie. But dude, I just after Apocalypse, I was not happy with the direction of everything. So I'm happy. I'm happy he's gone. I mean, I don't want to be too happy because I don't want to be a jerk. But
hey, it's okay, man. You're a jerk sometimes.
I am a jerk. I'm a jerk a lot of the times. Not even just some of the times.
No, you're not that bad.
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it. Yep. But I mean, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, it'll just go a better direction, man.
I mean, they have a lot of things coming out, like Legion and New Mutants that are coming out.
Yeah.
Other shows, and so hopefully, with the direction of those shows and new things that are coming out, that we'll see how those do, and maybe they won't go the MCU route where the TV shows or the small screen shows aren't integrated into movies. Maybe they can keep some of that if they do well, and they really highlight them into the big screen.
Do you mean CW or DC?
What's that?
That they integrate?
So Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or MOS, as I call it. Although that MOS references the MCU, but MCU doesn't reference them. They don't know that Coulson's still alive. That I can bring up every time, and then I don't know why they don't tell them.
Dude, I think that's for a different reason though. But I see your point.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't mind that one because, yeah, dude, the smaller characters should acknowledge that there's the bigger people out there. But how are those bigger people going to know that those people are supposed to be there? The smaller people. I think they got bigger and grander things to take care of. I don't know if it's necessarily fair, but
it's not fair, John. It's not fair.
It isn't fair. But that's how. That's
life.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Thank you.
It's not always fair.
It's real life.
Yeah.
But, and so that one I understand, but I love that they acknowledge each other, and I love that both Captain America movies, and I'm sorry if you haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's just spoiling everything on there, but when Captain America Winter Soldier came out, if you're watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the week before, everything's normal, everything's going according to plan, things are happening, and all of a sudden, from one episode to the next, if you didn't go watch Captain America in the movie theater, like you would have been not completely lost, but you would have been like, whoa, what the hell is happening?
Happened? Yeah.
Because like they completely reacted to the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that it wasn't there anymore, and for it to be like right in line with the movie coming out, like you needed to watch that movie to really get the full effect of what was going on with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from one week to the next. And I loved that. I thought that was really cool. I don't know. I don't think anybody was really doing anything like that and integrating that deep into things.
No.
You know, to see it show up, not a ton, but a little bit in the Netflix shows and kind of acknowledge that they're out there and that there's things happening. It's just nice to see a whole cohesive world all together.
Yeah.
Where DC is completely on the other side. I know you haven't watched any of those shows, have you?
Nah.
None at all.
Nope.
Yeah, but those are like, and they've acknowledged it. They're completely two different worlds. They're casting different people to play those characters in each one of them, you know? So it's, you know, they're using their version of the multiverse. What is it called in DC? The expanded universe?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're using their version of that to kind of keep everything separate and explain why there's, you know, two different people playing the same person side by side simultaneously. It's cool. It happens. I mean, understandable. It would have been nicer to see it the other way, where some of those people could have crossed over into some of these roles. But I mean, they're taking some pretty big names and putting them on the small screen. So I mean, you can only do so much with that. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel with X-Men, it's so disjointed already. I don't see how they could integrate anything anywhere. It'd be more along, I think, the lines of DC, where you have to acknowledge that, like, hey, these aren't the same people and they're not within the same universe. And who knows, though, man? Maybe they can pull it together.
Yeah.
I doubt it. But maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, man. That's all we can do. Sit back and
all
wait.
we can do.
Well, and go see Doctor Strange again.
That's
Yeah, man. Dude. So they recently interviewed Kevin Feige about like what's happening next with the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, because there's a bunch of movies that are coming out that are untitled or unreleased after the Avengers final sequels, the Infinity War, and then it was Infinity War Part 2, but then they just, you know, they nixed that title altogether. So there's like 3 or 4 new titles after that are just unnamed Marvel movies, but they're slated to come out. But they don't want to tell us what those movies are because they feel like that's going to give super spoilers to what happens in the Infinity War movies, the last 2 Avengers movies, which is kind of crazy. So like it really, like how can just naming this movie like just like spoil that, unless it's like I don't know. What do you think? What would really give a spoiler to Avengers? Like, what if it was just like Marvel Studios presents Cyclops or whatever? Like, what the hell? Like, when did that happen?
Dude, old man Captain America.
Old man Captain America. Well, they have all the characters, you know. That would be awesome.
But I don't know, man. I really don't know. Dude, I have no idea what they could be bringing on. I mean,
because we know Captain Marvel's coming out there.
Right.
We know Captain Marvel's going to be part of that. Brie Larson, they already announced she's going to be in it.
And that's already going to be one of the films, like, for sure, that's coming
out. Ant-Man and Wasp, that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Black Panther is going to be coming out. Spider-Man Homecoming is going to be coming out. Man, what else is out there? Well, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Thor Ragnarok. I mean, really, like, unless it's a sequel to something that they haven't released yet, or I feel like one of those is probably going to be Doctor Strange 2. It has to be.
Yeah.
You know, because it's doing really well right now.
Right.
Man, I don't know. Unless there's a new character that they're in the works that haven't been developed.
They've done most of the characters, right? Like for the actual Avengers team. Mm-hmm. Who else would they be missing in there? I can't think of who else. Maybe the Inhumans again?
Yeah, bringing them back.
Try to bring that back in. I mean, they haven't. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it doesn't look like they're still using any of the mainline Inhuman characters.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Bringing them
man.
back, you know. You know what? Oh, that's why they couldn't do that. I totally forgot. Well, because the reason why they didn't do a Planet Hulk by itself is because I don't think they have full rights to do a Hulk movie by itself. So they had to do a team up with Thor.
Right. It's Universal that holds the rights to Hulk right now, right? Mm-hmm. They can use him in team movies, but not as an individual character.
Yeah. That's crazy, but it just makes you want to see them all the more and see like why the hell, But really, like for the next 2 years, man, 17, 18, and 19, we get like 3 movies a year, pretty much. Like, because in 17, I
think you're taking a little bit of a break in 2018.
No, you get February. You get February is Black Panther. May is Avengers, Infinity War, and then in July, in November is Thor Ragnarok. Is 17. Or no, you said 18, right?
18.
Okay.
No, there's okay. So there is 3. Ant-Man and
3.
Wasp should be slated for July.
I'm sorry. My mouse got frozen.
18.
Yeah, my mouse froze. So yeah, 17. I think 19 is the to be announced date. Somewhere in there is the questionable one, but that's after the first Avengers 4, or after the first. Well, no, the second Avengers in there.
You're all confused, man.
I don't know, man. It's just all confusing. Just tell us already. Quit.
Just the dates are there, man.
Can I be 20?
Put them in order in your head, Eric.
I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. I gotta pee so mad now. Should have gone before we started recording. I can't think straight. Just my brain's floating in urine.
Stop this.
No, it's fine. Let's hold out. I think we're on our last topic already, so we're almost there. Don't laugh, John. You're gonna go right there in your chair.
So starting in 2017. So what? The first movie next year is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, right? If I'm reading this correctly, we start off with Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, in May.
We're gonna have Spider-Man: Homecoming in July.
Dude, that's so close though. Like 2 months later, that's awesome.
I mean, that's what they've been doing, man. That's amazing. And then capping off with Thor in November.
Yep.
Then we start into 2018, Black Panther.
Yep.
And that's the last one before they go into Infinity War.
In May. Yeah.
Then we got Infinity War. Then we have, it should be Ant-Man and Wasp.
In July.
Right after that in July. So then we have a little bit of a break until Captain Marvel, which is early in 2019.
Yep.
Followed by the next Avengers movie, which would be the second part of Infinity War, we're assuming, or we're still kind of wondering. I'm wondering with all these new characters if that's really what happened to kind of stopped it from being Infinity War 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, now there's so many movies in between. There's 3 movies in between, like part 1 and 2, if that's what it's going to be. I would assume they'd have to do one complete story in Infinity War, leave it at a place where they could have these other stories come along, and then pick up somewhere like on the next chapter that would be further on down the line.
I wonder if they would do like another Iron Man, an Iron Man 4, where it's passed off to what's her name that just became the new Iron Man? I can't remember her name, but maybe like passing off to her, or they just continue off that series, or if they did. So like Infinity War is the next Avengers. What if it's like the breaking up of the team? Like everybody's just disjointed, what's his name? Chris Evans can't play Captain America anymore. Not only is his contract up, but he's put down the shield. So what if he comes back as Nomad, and then somebody else picks up the shield, like Falcon or.
I mean, they have 2 of them in there already.
Yeah.
Or 3 of them. 3?
Yeah.
How many people get after? No, 2.
2. It's just Falcon and Winter
Bucky
Soldier.
Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could grow his arm back.
He never grows his arm back.
Yeah, or they just put another
shield
arm.
with the arm.
Yeah, there you go. So,
yeah, man. Like,
yeah, it could go anyway, man. But it's exciting, dude. Like, they're doing a great job. Keep it up, guys. Not that you need it from me, but just keep it going.
Just encourement.
Yeah.
All the way.
Hey, we're here for you, man. Just keep it going.
Our little humble podcast.
Yeah.
An encouragement to keep going with the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited, man. Like we talked about last time, 10 years It doesn't feel like that long. It really doesn't, because of how far they've come to now that they're at a point where they're giving us 3 movies a year. 3 movies a year. That's pretty insane, dude. Yep. I feel this is going to be the outer limits of what Kevin Feige can do. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep this up for much longer, be able to be producer on 3 different movies a year. Yeah. That's pretty insane, man. Yeah. I wonder if he's going to either take a step back in some of those roles, maybe just be overall consultant for all these. Maybe that's what he's been already and we just don't know it. But that just seems like a lot to be doing.
Well, man, if this is like your bread and butter, man, this is what you're living and breathing all year long, all year round. This is what the studio is focusing on. Yeah. This is what they need to be doing. And if he's the man to be doing it, man, he's doing a great job. And I think he does have it planned out, and to just keep it going, man. Just, you got it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Dude, I'm super pumped for all of these. Yeah. And we'll see what happens, man. They say 4 years in 2019 and 4 movies in 2019 and 2020 all together, but I'm sure that'll keep growing.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think total, with DC, the new, the other Image movies that are coming out, there's gonna a Spawn reboot is gonna happen. There's
really?
And I think other comic book franchises are coming up with their movies also. They're just gonna be churning these out like crazy, man.
Dude, it's a great time, man. Awesome time to be into the whole comic book superhero genre. If you want to start throwing fantasy stuff in there, all the new Harry Potter world kind of things.
Dude, there's gonna be 5 Harry Potter Fantastic Beast movies.
Right. So within the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah.
So
within the Harryverse.
The Harryverse.
Which is terrible name.
You said it. You put it out there. Yeah. That's what we're calling it from now on. Within the Harryverse.
The Harryverse. Oh, yikes.
Forget about Potterverse. It's definitely the Harryverse.
The Harryverse. Oh man. Yeah.
5 new movies coming out with that. That's going to be kind of insane. But those usually tend to come out a little slower. Mm-hmm. I think a year and a half in between each one of those Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. Slow burn for that, for sure.
Well, you can only do so much with the same set of people. Yeah. These at least have rotating actors when we talk about the MCU. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see, man. We'll see where DC goes. As long as they don't screw things up with Wonder Woman and the Batman, the Justice League, and the Batman movie that's in the works. As long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, it's a nice way to start building up toward what Marvel has been able to do with the MCU. But we'll see, man.
Yeah, and Under the Red Hood and a few of the other Batman animated movies are on HBO now, and I was watching that last night. And Under the Red Hood is good, man. I liked it.
I think I've seen that before, a while back.
Mm-hmm. It's
been out for a long time.
Yeah, it's it starts off with the death of Jason Todd, and his role as Robin.
Yeah,
and it's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
it definitely goes into the more mystical aspects of Batman on that end too, with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know if I liked the Joker, his portrayal in that one.
Really? Have you watched The Killing Joke yet?
Oh, you know what? I haven't.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
Nope.
No.
I've minimal interest.
Yeah. It's good. I've read that comic, and it's a good comic, but I heard it was and we talked about it before. Just
right.
the screen adaptation was a little different, and
people didn't like it.
Yeah. But
so I don't know. Eventually, I think I'll watch it. Just like most things DC, I'm not.
Yeah.
Or right now, I'm not. Yeah, and it's. I want to see it come back. I think it'd be awesome if it came back. If it came to rival some of these things with Marvel, because it was good when it was out there. When it was a popular thing. If you look at the old school Batman movies. Was it Tim Burton and Michael Keaton starting off that series, that was good for its time. It was really good for its time. And they still, I don't know if they fully hold up, but they do a good job in just kind of being entertaining still. And I think we need that back.
Yeah, what's weird is because that like because the 60s Batman like painted him such like in a really comic booky over the top like light, and then so when Tim Burton came around, like we see that as like the beginning of like these movies,
Right.
Well, shit, like Superman before that too,
Right.
Kind of like over the top stuff with especially like with Superman, like 4, they're just like punching each other in space. It was a definitely different feel. So when Tim Burton got it and it was just dark and like gritty, kind of like let's get nuts, type of situation.
It also would go that way.
Yeah. And then it got super comic booky again when Joel Schumacher took it over.
I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
And what's funny is I think during an interview of him, and I think in part of like some of the extra scenes, like if you go back and see those movies, is I think Joel Schumacher said he's like, I don't even think I read any of the comic books.
No, dude. And I mean, and even then, like there's I think a few, I don't know if it was an interview or I don't know what it was, but I mean he really thought of it as a cartoon.
Yeah.
And that's what he tried to portray in it. And it's like, dude, like why? What are you thinking? But dude, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I don't think it's not a bad thing, but it's definitely, it could have been better. Dude, it needs to find a happy medium.
Yeah. I think the Arkham series, like the video game, that story was awesome.
Really?
Like that was a really, really good story, like throughout the series, except for like the newest one, which visually was amazing, but it was just basically Batman tank battle, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think it was pretty good all the way around as far as like the underlying story of it. Just the missions were just kind of terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I think with Batman, I would really like to see Clayface. Like he like in the animated series.
Oh yeah.
I think he was like one of my favorite villains in there. Him and Bane.
Have you ever read him in the comics though, Clayface?
Well, no. Like I think just because of that, like I don't.
The animated series.
The animated series is just like kind of my go-to on that. It's an awesome series altogether, Yeah,
I know it was really good. I'm just saying because I've never really read any of the Batman comics. You have a lot more experience than I do with any of those, so.
Which is crazy because mine is not that much. Yeah. So
yeah, man, but that's kind of nuts, man. I don't know. I'm curious to see. We'll see what happens with that. But I mean, here it is, man. This is Marvel's laid down the gauntlet. They've been laying down the gauntlet for the past few years, and they need to step it up on the DC side if they want to keep up, or want people to go back that direction with it.
We're right on. Well, John, I think that'll do it for us this week. I don't know about you.
No, that's it. We're done.
We're done, son. We did it, John. Quickly tell the people where we go, they can find us, so we can get out of here and go pee.
For that, now I'm going to take my time.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. You can find us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Kenobi's-Corner. You can find us on Twitter @Kenobi's Corner, twitter.com/Kenobi's Corner. Search for us on iTunes and Google Play stores in the podcast section. Just search Kenobi's Corner. You should be able to find us pretty quickly. And if you want us on any other platform, like I always say, please tweet at us, and we can definitely get on there. If you have any other reason to want to talk at us, whether it's that we're doing a great job and we're super amazing and we're the best podcast you've ever heard in your entire life, or if we're the absolute worst podcast that you've ever heard in your entire life, which is probably closer to accurate, tweet at us, let us know. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. We'd love to give you guys a shout out and let everybody know what you think. So other than that, have a great week, and thanks for all the fish.